Helen,
And I'm Liz,
and we're sisters
scientists,
and lifelong X-Files fans.
and this is We Want to Believe.
Welcome, colleagues.
Welcome. How's it going?
I'm doing okay.
Good. I have more book things I want
Oh.
to bring up just because you've been texting me. You did pick up City of Brass on my recommendation
Yes.
and have been texting me about it. So
Yes.
I'm assuming it's going well.
I just finished it today.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. That's not the noise to make. The noise to make is it's
yeah, it
intense.
ends on
It, it reminds me of when I went to see the first Lord of the Rings movie and walked out of the theater at the same time as some people who didn't know that it was a planned trilogy, and they were like, "What was that ending? Oh my God."
Oh. Yes, this is a trilogy as well.
Yeah, so I will be acquiring the second book very quickly because I don't know what the hell's going on. And I have a lot of questions and it's very intense and I'm very concerned.
Yes. Yeah. Good. So you like it enough to read the second?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I still am really kind of getting some terms confused, but I'm doing good enough that it's okay. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I know, yes, that is fair. I believe I had some issues with keeping things straight at first as well.
Yeah.
But I'm very glad you're enjoying it. Did I recommend already the book all Hold on. Working this out.
So, listeners, just so you know, I am editing today's episode. So if you're like, wow, this seems like poor quality and they're not clipping out stuff that I would imagine a podcast would clip out, that's why our wonderful normal editor, Zach, is not available to edit this week. And what is available this week are Helen's two dogs that are barking a lot, making her angry. So they're kind of like our guests on this episode, I would say, and they want to contribute. They have thoughts.
Yeah, they have a lot of thoughts, and I think that thought is there's a dog. There's another dog. There's a dog across the street.
They're just trying
And
to protect you, They
yeah,
don't, because they are like, we don't want your podcast to be interrupted if these dogs attack.
yes, that's
I
true.
would
That
like
would be
to
sad.
know after you talk about the episode what you think each of your dogs would think of the episode if they watched it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm sure Gatsby would have a lot to say. Frankly, if you hear barking, let's not blame Leo.
Oh,
Leo
it's
is
probably
a good boy. And if you hear the bark and you think, God, that is a loud, piercing, obnoxious bark, that is Gatsby. He
okay.
has a really terrible, for being such a big dog, he has just
Kind
a,
of high pitched, like,
yes. Yeah, real annoying.
yeah, yeah.
Real annoying, Gatsby.
Want
I
to
was
recommend a book?
Yes, I do. I can't remember if I did already. That's part of what made me think of it. All the Murmuring Bones. Did I
No,
recommend that?
no.
Ooh, it's really good. So it's All the Murmuring Bones by A.G. Slatter.
Okay.
And it's got like a mermaid tail on the cover of it,
Okay.
and it's called All the Murmuring Bones.
You
And
know,
so I was
when you
on,
say murmuring, it's spelled normal, not like mermaid, right?
right,
It's
correct.
like MER, some sort of.
No, no, no.
Okay.
MUR. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And so it was purely like the title and the cover that made me go for it. And it was in like I got it from Libby. It was in Libby's like what do you call it?
Like
Like
available
spooky
now.
reads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something
Cool.
like that. And it was a very spooky read, and I
Oh,
highly
okay.
recommend it.
Hey, I feel
Um,
like if a book has bones in the title and you approve of it, that must be really good because you would not approve of things about bones that are not accurate.
yeah, it actually didn't have very much to do with bones at all.
Oh,
But it had a lot to do with mermaids, and these were not like Ariel mermaids.
ooh, like
These
scary.
were, yes,
Love it.
yes, these were scary mermaids. It takes place in Ireland.
Wait,
Um,
Belle. Yeah,
is it because I posted on Instagram about
maybe,
it?
maybe, yeah, or maybe you told me about it or something. Suddenly, Irish evil mermaids sounded familiar. Not even, I don't know if they're evil, but scary.
Yeah, scary, I would say. There's a lot going on. There's A lot of kind of upsetting details about infant loss.
Oh, that
Um,
was the one you were reading. Yes, I did see
yes.
about that. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I handled it
Recommended.
okay.
You handled it
And
okay. Yeah.
yeah. But just something to note if you're going into it, and you
Yeah.
would have reason to be triggered by that.
Yeah.
But it's also like kind of a feminist revenge fantasy. It's very good, very spooky, very Halloweeny. Mermaids,
Awesome.
Ireland, highly recommend.
Great.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I have though, besides information about the episode.
Great. The only other detail I wanted to share was just what I had already briefly told you, which was, as was posted on a Reddit thread I was in, the theory that you and I are two of the Eve clones from the season one episode. And
I
I
I don't
suggested,
hate it.
yeah, I suggested that, like, okay, so you know the plot of the movie Basic Instinct? We've talked about it
No,
on the podcast before. Uh,
no. Have we? No, I don't know
yeah,
anything
because
about
that
it.
terrible episode 3 with like the vampires has a lot in common with Basic Instinct in some superficial ways. Um,
Oh, I don't
but
remember
the
that.
plot of
Okay.
Basic Instinct is bananas, and I love it. It is that there's a murder committed in the fashion of this murder in this thriller that this woman wrote. Sharon Stone is the author. And the idea is maybe she did the killing because everyone would go, that would be too obvious. She couldn't do the killing. She's the author. That would be ridiculous. And so I was on a similar note thinking, if we were the Eve clones, wouldn't it just be like hiding in plain sight if we were
Ah,
a podcast? So,
yes.
because
Yeah.
people think if they were really hiding, they wouldn't have a podcast about the show that had an episode about them.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I like that theory.
Yeah,
I mean, frankly, I'm okay with that theory anyway.
yeah, I like it. You know, there
Yeah.
might be some flaws in it, like the photos of us that show that we're dramatically different ages. But actually, some of
Yeah.
the Eves were different ages, weren't they? Because
I mean, there
there
was
was the
like,
adult one.
yeah, there, so I mean, who knows
Yeah.
how things work?
And that could have just been when they, fictionalized the very real
Yes.
sure experiment.
Yeah, no, I like that theory. It reminds me of when I know we've talked about this before, I think, when me and you and two friends went as the clones from
Oh
Orphan
yeah, we were
Black,
talking about
which,
that. That was
yeah,
we were good clones.
yeah.
Also, I was re-listening to our very first episode, and in it we brought up home, and you said, I think I watched that about 10 years ago with Zach, which is interesting because more
What?
recently, yeah.
I absolutely did not.
Huh. Awesome.
Wow. Or
Yeah.
did I? I don't know. This is alarming.
It
I
might have
don't know.
been one of those things where because I said, I, oh, home is the scariest episode or something, and you were like, oh,
Yeah.
allowed me to watch it, but I might have watched it with Zach. You might have just been thinking of some other scary episode because we didn't talk about the plot at all.
Okay. Okay. Maybe. Because I know there was the one about stigmata
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
always used to freak me out, that I watched. So maybe, yeah, maybe I was thinking of a different one. Or maybe I watched it 10 years ago and within the last several years completely forgot that that happened.
I don't think you would have forgotten
I
home.
don't think so.
No,
Yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
would have remembered it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I don't know. That's alarming.
It is
I
alarming. There were a number of things we said in that episode that I was like, oh my God, we've said this so many times and we have no
no, no.
repeating ourselves. Yeah. Um, I
How many
also,
times have I recommended this book?
you don't know, yeah, people, listeners, let us know. Yeah. Also, I remembered a little bit more about the field where I died
Oh,
because I know I've seen it, but so I'll tell you what I remember. Tell me if I'm right or wrong.
yeah.
Past lives.
Yeah. Hmm.
And what I seem to recall is a love interest for Mulder that isn't Scully.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of. In a very loose sense that's related to the prior thing you just said.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Is there
So,
an address in a field?
they show a picture of a woman in a dress who is mentioned having been in a field.
Okay. So I was kind of right last week.
Yeah.
All right.
So it opens with Mulder in a field, um, holding two old photographs and talking. There, you know what? My one critique about this episode,
Oh,
well,
one.
that as I said that, uh, a mild critique of the episode throughout is that I feel like they do a lot of talking without advancing things.
Oh.
Like there's a lot of like I don't know, monologuing kind
Mm.
of.
Yeah.
Um and a lot of like kind of well, I'll get to that. So that's so I don't even know. I couldn't I if I didn't write down everything he was saying. I couldn't tell you even the gist of it. Basically like, philosophical, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So then after that though, it opens in Tennessee, and they're raiding a building, and talking about how someone named Sydney alleged that child abuse and like weapons dealing, arms
Oh, okay.
dealing, was happening by a local cult called the Temple of the Seven Stars. And so we see the FBI and the ATF, which I had to look up, is the
Okay.
Bureau of Alcohol.
Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
Yes, you are correct.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. It just came to me. I just knew
I
that.
feel like alcohol and tobacco should be separate from firearms.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. That
Yeah, and also like isn't alcohol and tobacco the same as like the DEA? I don't know. I have a
no,
lot of
because they're
questions.
legal though, alcohol and tobacco.
Is the DEA only illegal stuff?
I, I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
All
I
right.
don't either,
Well,
and
I
I
mean,
didn't find out.
and us not knowing stuff about that sort of thing also is from the first episode in which both of
Yeah.
us acknowledge we're not really sure what the deal is with the Pentagon, and you talk about how you had to look it up, and I said I know it has five sides, and so
Yeah.
I thought the DEA was just illegal stuff because
Maybe.
yeah. Anyway, it does seem like alcohol, tobacco, and firearms don't go together. In the same
Yeah.
way when you shared me that clip from that Liz Gilbert book about like all the bad stuff she was in Rhea was indulging in, and it was like listing drugs and alcohol and sugar.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. One of these things is not like the other. Yeah. Um, so they're raiding this like temple compound sort of place.
Okay.
And they're
Like
looking,
like Branch Davidian sort of thing.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Actually like specifically like Jonestown, basically,
Oh,
is what we're
oh,
gonna find out.
okay.
Like Kool-Aid is, well,
Oh,
some sort of red colored fruit drink is
oh,
involved.
oh,
And
oh.
it actually wasn't Kool-Aid, it was
I
Flavor Aid.
did. I did know
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Um, hold on, you'll have to cut this out.
So I'm not going to cut it out. I'm too lazy. Helen's coughing. You get what you pay for. That's not true. We don't pay Zach. He's better than me.
Zach, for the record, is seeing a Paul McCartney concert tonight.
Yeah.
So good for him. Um, that I feel like that kind of sounded
It sounded really
sarcastic, but
sarcastic, but you
it's
don't have
not at
to.
all.
You're happy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna order Mexican food and
Dare he not be here ready to edit our podcast at a moment's notice and go to see
yeah,
Paul McCartney instead?
yeah. Um, so they're trying to find its leader, the cult's leader, Vernon Ephesian.
Oh,
Um, and Mulder kind of starts being weird and moldery, and
oh, so Mulder is there at
yes,
the raid. Okay.
they both are. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And and kind of like experiencing, I don't know, like a calling of some sort into the field behind the compound.
Oh, like something's telling him to go there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And he walks out, and Scully kind of follows and is like, "What are you doing out here?" He's just kind of like wandering into this field. And they're trying to
Goes
find the
places.
leader.
He just goes places.
Yeah, and one thing I do appreciate about this episode,
One of those little backpacks that toddlers wear.
yeah,
Anyway, sorry.
um, one thing I do appreciate is that at one point Scully kind of calls him on his
Oh,
bullshit, and it
good,
was appreciated.
good.
Um, so he wanders out into this field, but he while he's there, he finds a trap door.
Oh,
And inside, they find Vernon Ephesian, along with his six wives, about to drink a
ooh,
red liquid drink.
ooh.
Yeah. And so Mulder like knocks it out of their hands,
Mhm.
and stops them and then handcuffs and arrests them. And he seems
Okay,
to have like the camera lingers on this one in particular, this one
okay,
wife.
okay.
Um, so the whole kind of structure of the episode is the fact that they need something else to hold them because they weren't able to track down Sydney, who was the guy that the tip came in from. So Sydney called in the tip. That's one of the people they were looking for, this man, but they weren't able to find him. And they also weren't able to find the reported weapons cache. And
Oh,
so
okay.
they've arrested Vernon and his wives, but without hard evidence, they can't keep them for too long. So,
And like them all being about to drink poison is okay because they're all adults and can choose to drink poison? Is that okay? I don't know.
well, so they mentioned that they're keeping them on something like tampering with dangerous chemicals or something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
I did at least it's a relatively coherent train of thoughts in my opinion.
Okay.
Um, so they need to find Sydney still,
Mhm.
and figure out where the weapons cache is. So they question Vernon, and this is again some of that like monologuing, quotes from Revelations. They're like in a an
Vernon is the
apocalypse
one.
cult.
Vernon is the one doing this monologuing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's like quoting scripture, talking about the cult.
Sometimes it
And
feels like I don't have any patience for listening to people who love the sound of their own voices, which it just struck me as a dramatic thing for guest hosts to say. I do enjoy listening to our podcast. Um, like
yes.
especially dudes who are like,
Yes.
well, I know things and I'm going to tell you about them because you must be interested. Whether it's somebody evil or somebody benign, I feel like I don't like it in real life. I don't have any more tolerance for it on TV. Even if I get that like I'm not supposed to like this dude, I just feel like, oh God, life is too short. It reminds me
Yeah.
too much of that one particular evil ex that I briefly had who once monologued to us about rice cookers.
Oh my God, that's right. Yes.
You know,
Oh my
every
God.
culture has a really common kitchen thing that they have. And in Spain, they often have deep fryers, which, side
I
note,
don't
is that true? I can't imagine that everyone in Spain has a deep fryer in their kitchen. If any listeners happen to know if that's true, please let us know it. We want to believe pod@gmail.com. Anyway,
yeah.
Spain, they have their deep fryer and other country. And in Japan, everyone has a rice cooker. And you're like, I was just happening to mention rice, sir. We were having a good time until,
Yeah.
anyway, I realize he's probably not as evil as Vernon.
But
Anyway,
he sure fits the bill
yeah,
of a lot of other characteristics of obnoxious people, at
yes,
least in general,
yeah.
at the very least.
It's people who think they're smarter than me and want to monologue. I do not,
Yes.
generally, they're not.
Has there ever been a time when the person doing that was not a white man?
Um, Evil X was a quarter Filipino.
Okay.
So
He was white
he looked,
presenting.
oh, yeah, he was white presenting, yeah. But yeah, I mean it's it's not quite the same because I've had other people do it in a different way where you just suddenly feel like you're trapped, where it's
Oh,
just
sure.
just want to talk to someone and don't really care, and that's a little bit different. I feel
Yeah.
like I currently was stuck in my office at work And I mostly really like my students this year, and it mostly went okay, but one of them just kept talking a little, and I suddenly realized it went okay, but I've had previous students, I was like, I'm just trapped here. If I get one of those talky students, I'm not going anywhere because I'm, resting my knee right now. And
Oh,
I'm just as like, it's like when I do book events and like weirdos come to talk to me. And like that guy who asked me, what do I think it takes to find love?
oh
And
my God, what?
oh yeah, yeah. One of the books I did because it's, kind of a rom-com, my book. And,
Yeah,
how do you meet someone? How do you connect with someone? And I was like, dude, I don't know. I just wrote a rom-com. You know,
yeah. It's a
I'm like,
question for
my
your
character, I
therapist.
just made them do it. Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
a question for your therapist, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, but that isn't the same sort of self-important I
Right.
work.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very different. There are plenty of people that you can be trapped talking to, but specifically, I'm thinking of the monologuing.
Yeah. Let
Yeah.
me impart my wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so that's what he's doing. That's what Vernon is doing.
Don't care for Vernon.
No, for lots of reasons.
I
Um,
suppose, yeah, if it wasn't the Kool-Aid, it's
yeah.
logging.
And he says there's no member named Sydney. Basically, that's
Okay.
that's the important takeaway. Okay.
Okay.
So then they're
Can I
interviewing.
guess?
Sure.
Is Sydney a ghost?
No.
Oh, okay. I clearly don't remember this episode. I did not know there was a cult in it at all.
So then they interview Melissa, who is the wife that Mulder was like drawn to.
Okay.
Um, and while she's talking to them, she suddenly starts talking like, sorry, there's barking. I hope people can't hear it. There's
No,
nothing I can do about it.
I told them that these are our guest hosts for this episode, and it's important to let your guests talk.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Well,
I listen to podcasts and I think, why'd you have this guest on if you're not going to let them talk? So go
I
on,
guess that's
guys.
true. Um, so she suddenly starts talking like a man from the 1940s.
In
Um,
like a Cary Grant
Here,
knitted
see, kind of,
laugh.
yeah.
I want to hear more. You should do the rest of the episode in that voice.
And her name is Sydney now.
Oh.
Yeah. And they ask who's president, and she slash he says that Harry Truman is
Mm,
president.
okay.
And so they're like, well, obviously, you know, something's off here.
Yeah. So this is
Um,
like a multiple personality sort of thing.
Yeah. So Scully believes that Melissa has dissociative identity disorder.
Is not what they called it back then, right? Or is it?
No. Well, no. They do say dissociative identity, I think.
Okay. Because
Um,
I know, like, I guess I read books about it in the 90s, but the books
yeah.
themselves may not have come out in the 90s or might have been about things when they would still call it multiple personality disorder. So,
And they say that as well.
okay.
Yeah. And Scully does, because I feel like also back in the 90s there was more I don't know, the book Sybil came out.
We
And
talked
that
about
wasn't the
that in
90s
episode
though.
one.
Oh God, okay. Um but it like
Well, just one episode, basically, just scrambled together.
yeah.
Configurations.
Well,
Um,
that's what the X-Files is too.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
Sybil, or yeah, I read some real disturbing book, the Travis's ones, that like certain details have stayed in my head that I went on like
yeah.
a thing in the 90s of like reading true accounts of that or whatever. I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, my reading of it is that since the 90s, we have come to think, the professionals have come to think that is not really common at all, if
Yeah.
maybe not possible at all. Like,
Yeah. Sorry for coughing. Liz isn't gonna edit it out.
the only person who needs to apologize is Zach.
Um, so yes, correct. That is my understanding as well. I do from what I understand from, because I also got kind of obsessed with it in like a, ooh, creeps me out.
Mhm.
All these books about it came out sort of a way. And so I talked to my friend Cynthia, who's a psychiatrist, about it once and was asking her,
Mhm.
uh, and she at one point had a patient who had DID,
Whoa.
but also takes the stand that like it's really rare. Like this is not like just like, oh, thing that happens. It's
Yeah.
and they're still not totally sure because I was asking her like what is the point between like this and psychosis, and it's all very kind of like garbled from my understanding
Okay.
that it's not like a clear sort of,
Makes sense that it's not
yeah.
a distinct, you know, one day you wake up and somebody else shows up and you were totally normal otherwise or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And Scully says like it's really rare people like this is she kind of takes a similar line, but that's all she kind of can think of, and at least believes that like Melissa has some sort of issues, some sort of mental health
Yeah, I
issues.
mean, she's in a cult, so she's probably
Yes.
under very bad conditions. And I feel like that's the
Yes.
common theme I remember from Sybil and from this other book I read is that it's like a thing that seems to happen when people are abused real bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Mulder thinks she's recalling a past life.
Yes, of course he does.
Yes, of course he does.
That's not how I understand people recalling past lives, because when you hear about it, it's when you, I don't know. When I've read things about it, sometimes it's like a little kid is like, oh, well,
Right.
I remember this. And you're like, whoa, that's really creepy. But they're four and they don't know it's creepy, but they're still themselves. They just have these extra memories as
Yeah.
opposed to being this other person.
Yes, this is not, or like sometimes, we've talked about regression hypnosis in the past and like, um, but this is not any sort of presentation that I have recall from either actual real life examples or pop culture.
Yeah. Yeah. Like channeling your past life or something.
Yes, but that's what Mulder thinks.
Okay.
Um, and so at somehow they decide to take her back to the temple to see if that's gonna like spur more memories.
Okay.
Um, and while they're
But
there,
it's clear that she is Sydney. She's the one who called it in. And so
yes,
maybe she knows where the weapons are.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, and while they're there, she takes on the personality of a woman from the Civil War, um, and says that the weapons were hidden in another secret bunker in the field.
Okay.
She
Field where
also,
she died?
I mean, kind of. Well, she is talking to Mulder too, and says that she knows Mulder from that past life, and that she was there and watched him when he died.
Oh, so
So,
it's the field where he died.
yes, the field where Mulder died.
Okay.
Um, so this all leads to regression hypnosis, of course. Um,
Which is
and
why we talk about Sybil and whatever in episode one, because we that's when it gets brought up that Mulder got regression hypnosis, which is how he recalled Samantha's abduction.
right. Okay. Yep. And so so she can recount her past lives. So she talks, she's like Melissa for a bit, and then she's Sydney, and then she's the Civil War woman. And it's really, frankly, I think hard to keep the details straight. And I read one of the reviews of this episode that I read, said something like for how like serious and impactful the ending is,
Oh.
they feel like the whole rest of the episode could have been like better done. Like it's I feel like all the necessary parts are there, but there's like so much like someone rambling about their past life that like there's never any like traction in
Mm,
the episode.
okay.
Like it
Yeah.
never feels like it's going anywhere.
Hmm.
Um so she implies that she and Mulder have met over and over in their lives. So this is where I said like kind of a love interest.
Yeah.
Because it's from a past life.
Yeah.
Um and
It's also remember him, like her modern day self, or just the Civil War lady?
just the Civil War lady.
Okay.
So in order to try to confirm her events, Mulder has himself hypnotized.
Oh yeah,
Now,
that sounds totally scientifically sound.
yes,
I
exactly.
was gonna say, did he look up records from that time? Did he?
Eventually,
Okay. Okay.
um, or no, eventually Scully does.
There
Excuse
we go.
me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention at one point in here, Scully is or wait, maybe I didn't get to that part yet. At one point, they're talking about like Mulder wants to do this to help people. Like this is like, the children that were potentially abused, the, cult members who were, who had or were going to drink some of the red drink, whatever it was. And Scully says something because it's when they're talking about the hypnosis, and she says something like don't kid yourself, like you're doing this for you. Like this is like if we wanted to find these people, we could do this and this and this, but this is like essentially for you, which
Are
I
people
appreciated.
missing? I thought it was just weapons missing.
No, but like the people in the cult were in danger.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So right. So Mulder immediately has himself hypnotized. Again, terrible scientific protocol.
And as I think I told you, I recently was reading that like official bodies in like the American like I don't know if it's the AP yeah, the APA, I think,
Yeah.
says, nope, do not do that.
Yeah.
We say no to that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Um, but he does because he's Mulder.
I guess it
Um,
was the 90s and the hip thing to do. So,
yeah.
I mean, I remember wanting to have regression hypnosis when I was a teenager because I wanted to find out if I had past lives.
I have never that is so far from anything I would ever want to do. It's
To be
like
fair, you also wouldn't want to go to like you didn't want to go see Beyonce when you had that opportunity either. So I mean, we do have different interests, but like
yeah,
I
that's true.
not that there I don't think there's a correlation though.
No, no, those are not similar.
I'm now
It's
now that I mentioned it, I have no idea why I thought of that. I just thought of like things that you have no desire to do. I don't want to now, because I
yeah,
don't trust it. But in the 90s, I was a teenager and I thought it was real, and I thought, wouldn't that be fun? And I was a teenager, thought, oh, it'll turn out I knew my crush or something, you know?
yeah, yeah. No, I like have never had any desire. I think it like goes back to like the and not that you're one of these people, but I get the same sort of feeling of like people that want to do like ayahuasca, which we've talked
Oh,
about.
I don't think that past life regression hypnosis makes you throw up.
No, I know, but like the general oh, possibly all this hallucination might be good
Oh,
for like I feel like no, I'm happy right here where I am. If I have PTSD, I will take that PTSD. I don't want anyone hypnotizing it out of me.
yeah.
Like let's not mess things up any further than they are in there. Like let's
Oh,
just
that makes sense to me because I
yeah.
feel like when I mean also in the 90s when I'm slightly older and had friends who would go to raves and do ecstasy and they would talk about that and I would think, nah, nah, my brain
Nope.
is strange enough as it is. Let's
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
No need for scrambling things.
no,
Let's yeah.
no. Yeah.
Um so anyway, yes. So
So yeah, that seems like a very sensible approach to take, Helen. I
well, thank you. The APA, my preferred
Asian.
citation style. Yeah, would be
Yeah.
proud.
As I've mentioned, I'm married to somebody who cites in Chicago.
Oh, it's
Weird.
upsetting.
It's weird. It's just
Yeah. I mean, he's also a Cubs fan.
yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
um, so Mulder recalls being a Jewish woman with a son. And the son, you're making a face that I want to make. And it's a
It
face
too.
of like, what?
You can make it too.
Oh, yeah. Well, but this is an audio format.
Yeah, that's true.
A face that says like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
feels uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's also
Yep.
slightly bracing myself for whatever you're going to tell me.
Yeah. So, uh, this was in the 1940s. He talks about Poland. He talks about people coming for them.
Jesus Christ, can we not capitalize on the Holocaust for drama?
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, and his son, so when he was this woman, his son had the same soul as Samantha.
Wait, his
And
sister?
yes,
Okay.
and
What,
his,
don't we have problems when it comes to past lives? Don't we have problems with math?
yes.
Okay. Do I need to elaborate or do we think that's clear?
You can elaborate.
There are more people now. So
Yeah.
what's going on there? That's my elaboration. Because it seems like either we're getting souls. If it were true, we're getting some people who are brand new, or some people who are having their souls diluted into multiple people. And as I'm saying all of this, I accidentally feel like I'm proposing some sort of new age belief, and I don't want to sound like that. So,
That makes me think of The Office with Creed going, "Oh, I've been in lots of cults, both as a leader and a follower. You have more fun as a follower, but you make more money as a leader."
yeah, I was trying to remember it. I was
Yeah.
thinking about that earlier. I also, if we're going to pause to compare this episode of TV to other episodes of TV, all I'm thinking about is that Brooklyn Nine-Nine, where Jake is following this therapist who they think might have killed his patients, and he ends up in this other, he's pretending to be a new patient seen by this other therapist in the building, and she's like, "Oh, you're here to talk about your past or to talk about your other
Yeah.
personalities," and he has to keep doing these accents, and it's really awkward.
Yeah,
And then
that's right.
eventually he just does Morgan Freeman in Shawshank Redemption. So
Yeah, that's right. Um,
anyway,
yeah. So his son had the same soul as his sister. Okay, I thought when you were going to talk about math, you were going to talk about the fact that like that's a different generation, but then Mulder and his sister were in the same
yes.
generation. Like
Yeah,
that
you're
sort of math.
absolutely right. Yeah, so then they're like out of sync.
Yeah. And his father, his deceased father was Scully.
Wait. Oh, his the Jewish woman that Mulder used to
Yes.
be had a father, and that father was Scully.
Yes, and his husband was Melissa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, so Melissa was his husband. She was a man. And she was taken to a concentration camp by a Gestapo officer
God.
who was the cigarette smoking man.
God. Ugh.
It just,
It all seems kind of on the nose and like I don't know. I think it's really important to know the history of the Holocaust, and I just feel like there's something a little tasteless about using it as like a quick emotional pull.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
yes. Um, so he also recalls his past life from the Civil War. He was named Sullivan Biddle,
Okay.
and Melissa was named Sarah Kavanaugh.
Okay. And is that
And
one of the lives that is coming through for her, right?
yes, that is,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Scully, Mulder claims, was his sergeant,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
I find a little amusing.
Yeah.
Um, so Scully then goes to the county's records hall, and finds pictures of the two of them, of Biddle and Kavanaugh.
Oh, okay. So they
Um,
existed. She's verified that. So okay,
yes,
that's what you should do immediately if you have those names. Good. Cool.
yes, yeah. Because Scully, we're being confirmed over and over, is the good detective.
Yeah.
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 Um, and she finds pictures of them and gives them to Mulder. And he wears a Confederate uniform in the photo.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Oh, I guess they're in Tennessee.
yeah,
On the other hand, why would that matter? Because they were in Poland. So,
right. And it still feels a little bit like an uncomfortable plot point that doesn't get enough, like I feel like nothing is ever fleshed out enough to make these things as impactful as they could be. You know
Yeah,
what I
that makes
mean?
sense. Yeah, like
Yeah,
as much as they are owed to do them justice.
right.
Yeah.
hmm so the FBI and the ATF plan to go back into the compound again. So um I'm sorry, I skipped the fact that they were all released then. So they never got
Oh, okay. They
enough,
never found the weapons. All right.
never found the weapons, didn't have enough to hold them. So Ephesian and his six wives, Ferd and Ephesian, were all released.
Okay.
Um, so they're gonna make another search of the compound. I can't remember on what grounds, because that seems like they would need them, but that's okay. Um, and Ephesian, realizing that he's not going to survive another siege, passes out poison again.
Oh,
And so it's like another sort of siege situation where the FBI and the ATF are trying to get in. Ephesians men are firing on the officers.
okay.
And there's some stuff from Revelations wrapped in here about like, you know, how the government was going to be that Ephesian thinks that like the government is the enemy essentially and that it's his job to stop them and things like that, and that's um kind of why they end up going back, I guess. Although now that I'm saying that, it doesn't make a lot of sense in my head, but that's what is kind of implied.
I feel like that's a similar attitude that the creepy guys in Home took, which was not the government exactly, but people are gonna come in and try to make us change our ways, so let's kill them. But it's like, no, they're actually coming because you murdered people. But anyway.
Right. Yeah. So he passes out poison to the cult members while the siege is happening.
And are they willingly taking it? Like, yep, that's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
Which is, I mean, what I've read more recently is that like that's not how it was in Jonestown. It was originally shown that way, and it really wasn't. It was more like, or you could be shot, or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
more straight up murder. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And this is at least portrayed as them pretty willingly doing it. Although again, there's like a lot of shots being fired from both sides. It's very like a tense situation.
okay.
Um, Melissa pretends to drink it,
Oh,
um, and lays there amongst the dead,
oh,
looking dead. But then Ephesian walks in and he has two cups of poison, and sees that Melissa is still alive. Mulder surrenders. He like walks up to the compound with his arms up and surrenders in order to get into the temple. And it's like a bit of a is he going to get there in time sort of a thing. But he does not. He forces Ephesian forces Melissa to drink the poison, and when Mulder arrives, they're both dead.
oh no.
Yeah, and Mulder kind of like checks her pulse and looks kind of caringly at her and looks out into the field. I did forget that one of my notes. Uh, After the regression hypnosis stuff, Mulder and Scully are talking in some sort of office, and he asks like, uh, I'm not entirely sure what he's asking, but it's essentially like, would you, you know, if this was true, if you and I knew each other from all these different lives, would you still be here with me or something like that? Which I don't really follow the logic, but that's
Okay. He asked
yeah.
this of Scully?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Scully says that she wouldn't do a single thing over, that she like is would something like she would, do every day again that they've gone through.
Oh.
And then she says something like, except I could have done without the fluke man. And
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. Um and yeah, that's it then. So it like I said, it I
So
I felt like
they never
it.
find the weapons,
No, they never find the weapons. Um,
and everybody's dead who was in the cult.
uh-huh.
And we had brief confirmation that the people Mulder remembered were real people.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Huh.
it like I don't think it was bad, but it felt very meandering and like it had all the elements of something very interesting, but didn't fully get there.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did
And
you enjoy it? It doesn't sound that fun.
it was okay. I mean, I'm interested in I think cults are interesting as a
Yeah,
concept.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and I thought it was like I said, I did enjoy Scully kind of calling Mulder out on some of his like what would you call it? Self-serving sorts of
Yeah,
theories.
yeah, yeah.
Even though I mean like we could say he was correct in this, I still
I mean, that's how it usually goes.
right.
Not always, but usually, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Do I think my dogs would have liked it?
Yeah, and what do you think they would have thought overall? What would their main takeaways have been?
Gatsby is 3 and a lot of trouble, and I think his main form of entertainment is much less intellectual than this. I think he would have been
He would
bored.
have had no tolerance for those monologues.
No, none. No, he would have just like gotten up and started, I don't know, playing with
Yeah,
something. His piggy toy, perhaps.
yeah.
Leo, feel like sometimes Leo has the personality of like someone who's mildly emo.
So he might have liked it.
I think he
Yeah,
might have
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He might have liked it in like a yeah, the same way
You know,
that
he has that dark hair and it's shaggy. Like you could totally give him like asymmetrical bangs.
there's a God, I have to find it. There's a picture um of Gatsby sitting on her couch and someone, I can't remember who in my family, put like a one of the boys or maybe Zach's beanie on his head. It was winter and he looks like this like goofy emo kid with this
Oh.
like sagging beanie falling off his head.
If you're interested, I found a little video from 3 years ago of a golden doodle with an emo haircut. Yeah.
Aw. Yeah, so I think Leo could have gotten into it, or at least pretended he
Yeah.
understood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. Um, that's all I got. However, next up is Sanguinarium?
Planarium? Yeah.
Something about blood.
Something about
Sorry.
blood. Yeah, I know. What I think I remember, and I don't remember if I mean, this is bad. I realize we forget stuff from like months or years ago. I can't remember if I looked this up last week or if I just remember it, but
Oh,
plastic surgery is involved.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So,
Okay.
I mean, I feel like a thing about people getting surgery is not at the top of my list of things to watch, but at least if it's plastic surgery, it's not going to involve their knees. So,
Yeah, that's true. And after that is musings of a cigarette smoking man.
oh, it'll be your turn to watch it, but I might watch it anyway.
Yeah, I know. I kind of feel like maybe we should change.
Or like do like a special thing for it or something.
Oh, that too. I was just thinking since Sanguinarium seems more up my alley,
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's
maybe we can look it up and see if
definitely
it's,
more. You know, the thing is, you're gonna have insight into biological things that I will not have.
yeah.
So I would not mind you watching it.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, maybe we can do that.
great.
Yeah,
We can still
sounds good.
discuss and do something special for Musings of a Cigarette Smoking Man, or as
Yeah.
I always knew it, Musings of a Cigarette Smoking Man, because I got what I'm pretty sure was an illegal bootleg copy off the internet that had a typo in the word cigarette when I
Yeah,
was.
I always have to stop myself from saying that as well. That's how it
Yeah.
is in my head.
Oh, good. I'm
Yeah.
glad. Yeah,
Yeah.
remember it was like the whole box was shaped different and like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, my whole family is gone except for these dogs, so I'm gonna order in some good food that I can't get my kids to eat and maybe watch Sanguinarium.
Perfect. Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, don't leave yet. We have things to discuss, but we will let you listeners go because you won't care about this next bit. Anyway, yeah, if you've got things to share, let us know. We want to believe pod at gmail.com, or we want to believe pod on Instagram, or we want to believe pod.com.
And if you're new here, don't blame Zach Werner for the editing.
Nope. Well, don't blame
Uh,
the editing. But why am I editing it? Because he had the nerve to go see Paul McCartney.
yeah, how dare he?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye. I'm going to hit stop.
We Want to Believe is hosted by Helen Werner and Liz Holden. It's produced by Zach Werner. The We Want to Believe theme music was created and recorded by Zach Werner. Find us at wewanttoBelievePod.com, on Instagram at wewanttoBelievePod, or send us an email at wewanttoBelievePod@gmail.com.